What I truly want is freedom. Is it important to live a life without depending financially on others to realize freedom? Thank you for your question. Freedom is in all things, in all situations, in all manifestations. It's always here. It's always here. It's that which is experiencing. And have you ever been absent from that which is experiencing? What we believe is that we are the thoughts and we are the creator of our life. When there begins to be this examination of where thoughts, feelings, you is coming from, they're seen as a spontaneous arising from nothing, from nothing. And it's a complete illusion that you chose your life, you chose to be financially dependent or independent, you chose to be successful or unsuccessful, to be homeless or homed. That is something that is happening. This is such a deep teaching, though, and shouldn't be taken as a concept, but should be explored for oneself. Where are thoughts and actions arising from? Who is the doer of thoughts and actions? So Ramesh Balsakar, one of my teachers, used to say, follow a choice back, and where does a choice begin? And you can do that now in this moment, or you can do it through imagination in the timeline. And both end up being infinite. Infinite. They cannot be grabbed hold of. So thoughts are arising, a life is arising. Who is it arising for? When it's truly seen that the sourcey source of everything is absolutely empty, then freedom entails. There is no doer of any action. Of any action. What can be investigated, though, from your question, life without depending financially on others to realize freedom, is there can be an investigation as to the seeking components in being financially dependent on others. So the way in which the illusion is created is entirely through seeking, entirely through a seeking. So the first seeking is I am a body. That doesn't sound like a seeking, but it is. You're trying to become form. There is something that's trying to be something steady, whereas actually what you are is the formless. So when the baby opened its eyes into this world, it was no baby and no mother, there was simply everything. And then at some point, the baby begins to hallucinate, or the toddler begins to hallucinate, I am this body. And that is a seeking. A seeker arises to be form. And then the seeker expands through new seeking ideas. I am a body. So that's one thing it's seek to be. I'm a body. This is my body. I am a body. And then it's constantly trying to maintain that idea. Whereas actually you are no body, no time, no place. Which is absolutely freedom. The next one is I am a name, and then it seeks to be that name. The next one, maybe, this is just an example, I must be good, or I must be bad. I must be clever, I must be better than. And all of these are seeking to be something, seeking to be form. And it's what in spirituality or non-duality we call the seeker. And it's sucking in all these things to maintain something. And through life, it becomes more and more complex. So when you're younger, it's not so strong, but it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger the more you go through life, because you're trying to be all these things: a good dad, good mom, good grandparent, financially independent, wealthy, successful. All of these different things you're trying to be and trying to hold up. If not for others, for yourself. You're trying to be somebody. I'm trying to be here. And every time that begins to get questioned or something doesn't go in line with what the seeker believes it is, then great fear and terror rises, because the seeker is terrified of the formless. The seeker is like this terror of nothing, of being nothing. So it's always trying to evade that. And when you have spiritual awakenings, often what precedes it is a terror or is a fear. Not all the time, but often, like for me, on the awakening journey, there was lots of sitting through fear. In the very last, big shift that happened in Bali, in that moment there wasn't fear, but prior to that there was loads of times of fear arising and not moving from it, like fear of dying and not running away, quickly trying to do something to cover that up. So what can be looked at is, who would you be if you weren't financially dependent? You know, sometimes that can be a great seeking thing. And a very strong belief that if I was financially independent, I would be free. Or financially independent, I wouldn't be free. And there could be so much mental activity around it. I am bad for this, I'm good for that, you know, all these ideas. So that can be examined in order to get to the true seeking, which is the seeking to be free. Because that's actually also what the seeker wants. And this is why Papaji says that in the seeking to be free, in the wanting freedom, there is freedom. Because actually what the seeker wants, as soon as it evolves, is to feel safe and at home. But it wants to feel safe and as at home as a seeker, as an independent entity, and that's impossible. Because no form lasts forever. So it's like it wants home. That's all it's craving for, but it wants home as a form, and that's impossible. So through the investigation of being dependent on others and the seeking that manifests there through that and the illusions, you can slowly step back to, I want to be free. And then aligning with your true desire, rather than when you're just more in the top one of wanting to be financially independent, then you're manifesting that, you know, that's the game. So it's like deeper. What is it deeper than that you truly want? And that is to be free. And freedom is the death of the seeker. It's the death of being a form. It's the recognition and the energetic shift back to the empty looking, which is no things and all things. A movement back to that which is watching this. And that watcher even begins to disappear, because watching in our language and can become a concept. It's like coming back to this unmanifest that's experiencing itself as all things, which is total love, unconditioned love. This life becomes about nobody. Nobody. There's nobody here. There's nobody there. And this is a free life. Thank you for your question.